I gave a talk in a school in London, and I was quite annoyed as I left the school because I thought, hey, I'm supposed to be talking about enterprise and entrepreneurship. And as I left the school that day, I read about a vicar in Suffolk. His name was Michael, and he had been raising money for his church, and he had given his congregation £10 each. So that was his idea, right? He said, okay, guys, hands up. Who wants £10? Here's £10. All you have to do is turn it into more, right? And then in 6 months, you can come back and tell me what you've turned it into and give the proceeds to the church, right? So I thought, that's a brilliant idea. I'm going to borrow that idea. I thought, well, I don't want to just give out one tenner. I thought 10,000 tenors. There was only one thing that I was missing. Well, £100,000. That's right. That was the only, but I didn't see that as a small thing that I was lacking because I thought, well, yeah, I'm sure I can get that. So I wrote to a few friends and we had breakfast together. And one of them, after the breakfast, said, hey, you should meet my friend Andrew. He knows loads of rich people. And I met this guy called Andrew Reynolds. And we had a coffee, and he said, I do know some interesting people, but you know what? Let me stop you there. I like this idea so much, I'll give you the money myself. And I thought to myself, well, you know what? Andrew's not going to be happy, and everyone's not going to be happy until a lot more people know about this competition. So I thought, who can I write to? I write to the BBC. Okay, so Newsnight made 3 films, and then so did BBC Breakfast, and so did Newsround, and so did all the newspapers. And it was a bit of a snowball. But think about it. That would never have happened if I hadn't had the idea in the first place, if I hadn't written the email, and if I hadn't invited a couple of people for breakfast. So what's my point? My point is it's really simple ideas sometimes that makes things happen. Ideas about your life, your career, your entrepreneurial activities. You don't have to start a business, but your ideas matter enormously. And amazing things can happen. You, unlike me, can see what's wrong with the world. You're seeing things for the first time. That's broken. That could be better. I could change that. We could change that. Why doesn't someone do that, okay? Because that ability to see stuff for the first time is an amazing secret weapon. What I've discovered is this, and I haven't discovered it on my own. I've discovered it through quizzing lots of people, okay? Whatever it is you want to do, it basically boils down to 3 things. Number 1, the ideas you have and your ability to put them into action, right? But your ideas really, 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 really matter, okay? The second thing is your belief in yourself and your own abilities. And remember my observation about being shy, that's fine. Being rubbish at a few things, that's fine, okay? The third thing that definitely will determine your success is your ability to interact with other people. So the brilliant thing that everyone in this room has got to their advantage is you're at an early stage, so you can ask for help and advice. No one's going to go, this is weird, you're asking me for help, haven't you worked it out already? Everyone's going to think it's totally normal, right? Here are my thoughts very briefly on rejection. Number 1, it happens all the time, and it doesn't get less just because. People don't stop saying no to your ideas or your approaches and your applications just because you've been doing it for 5 or 10 years. So you kind of got to deal with it, right? So the interesting thing is, how do you react, okay? So I think deciding to be deliberately pleased about certain bits of rejection, I don't mean in a weird, laughing in the face of it all the time way, but genuinely deciding not to be too downhearted when you get rejected from your college or your uni is very, very important. Persistence is very, very important. I think 9 times out of 10, even today when I write to someone, it's getting a tiny bit less, but it's still up there, more than 5. People just ignore you. So don't be afraid to write to someone more than once. And how you minimize the chance of rejection. If I get 10 emails a day from people I've never met before, I'd say what 9 of them haven't done is personalize the email. So I get the impression that they've sent it to a lot of people, because they probably have. If you're writing to a company, just spend that few minutes really looking into what they've done, what they say about themselves, particularly anything recent you can find about that organization or that person, and mention it in your email. Whatever you want to do in your career, it is a series of steps and stepping stones and adventures, okay? And you don't have to have it all mapped out on day 1. I went to not 1 but 2 universities. I didn't finish the course at these universities. So your studies, your academic life is incredibly important. It isn't the only thing that's going to determine your success. You know that already. Okay? What will determine your success is your ideas, your belief in yourself and what you're doing, and the people you connect with. So whatever you're looking to do, don't let anyone put you down and tell you you can't do it.